What is up, guys? How's everybody doing today? Welcome back to another Ranking the Discography video. As you see by the title of this video, we are going to be ranking the studio albums of Bay Area thrash metal legends, Metallica. We're going to be starting. So, number 10 is going to be 2003 Saint Anger. This is no surprise because everybody who's done a Metallica studio album ranking has ranked or at least most of them have ranked Saint Anger at the number 10 spot, and it's not a surprise at all because this album's not very good in my opinion. The production on it is terrible. The songs are very boring and repetitive. The drum sound is pretty much iconic at this point, like the snare sound. It's very memed in the metal community. But this album has a couple good songs on it. Like Frantic's a pretty good song. Title track's pretty good. Some Kind of Monster has a really good riff in it, but the song kind of drags off for too long. Unnamed Feeling has a really cool intro, but again, since the songs are boring, the song drags off for too long, like Some Kind of Monster. And Sweet Amber's a pretty good song, but besides that, I don't like any of the other songs. This album's just not very good. This was a kind of a low point in Metallica's career because 2 years prior they lost Jason Newsted, who left the band to work on a side project. Like James Hetfield went into rehab for alcoholism, and there was just like a lot of in-band tension. That movie, Some Kind of Monster, the documentary which came out I think the next year, it's kind of was showing like all like the band's struggles in the studio, and Bob Rock, who produced this album, played bass on it. But yeah, this album's not very good. But yeah, we're gonna be moving on. So number 9, and this is a controversial choice to put at number 9 because a lot of people love this album. Hardwired to Self-Destruct from 2016, which is their newest album. This is not a bad album by any means. My problem is I just never got into it. There's a couple really good, like, borderline great songs on it. Like, the song Hardwired is a great opener for the album. Atlas Rise is a really good tune. Moth in the Flame's a great tune. Spit Out the Bone's a really good song. What else is there? I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but those are the songs that stick out. But this album is just kind of forgettable. Some of this, my problem with Metallica's new stuff is that it just kind of seems forced. The record company, it's like the record company's like forcing them to make an album, and seems like Metallica's just doing it just for the money. They're not doing it because they actually want to. But yeah, this is not a bad album by any means. It's just I just never really got into it. But moving on, number 8 is going to be 1997's Reload. So, people hate on the Load and Reload albums way too much. Everybody's all like, oh my god, they're the worst Metallica albums of all time. Oh my god, it's hard rock, it's not thrash. It's just I'm just so what, honestly? You got, I think that Load is better than Reload, as you can clearly see by the ranking. But, Reload still has some great songs on it. With Reload, half the album is great. Well, the other half of the album, it's good, but it's just forgettable. So with songs on it, Fuel is a great song, and a great opener for the album, and they still play that song live to this day. Same with Memory Remains, they still play that song as well. 2 great songs. Devil's Dance is a great song as well. Very dark sounding, heavy tune. Unforgiven 2 is another great one. Sorry, I can't speak. Prince Charming is a very underrated song. I love that song so much. And Fixer, which is a great outro for the album. But besides that, there's a lot of forgettable stuff on here, stuff that should be on B-sides and stuff. Songs like Slither and Lil Man's Lyric and Better Than You. Those songs should have just been left off. But yeah, not a bad album, but solid, but just some stuff's forgettable. So yeah, what are we at? Number 7 is going to be 1996's Load. Sorry, I lost track right there. But yeah, 1996's Load is at number 7. This album is better than Reload. There's less filler on this album. So yeah, what songs you got? Ain't My Bitch is a great opener for the album. 2x4 is such an underrated song. Until It Sleeps is another great one. Song is like so dark sounding. So you got like King Nothing, Hero of the Day. My favorite out of the Load and Reload albums is Bleeding Me. That song is just like filled with emotion, and I've always really liked that. I've always really loved that song for some reason. Like Thorn Within, like Outlaw Torn. A lot of great songs on this album, but there's still a couple filler songs, like especially the song Mama Said. That's not a bad song by any means. I just don't want to hear country from a thrash metal band like Metallica. But yeah, so what I think is that if they left all the filler off the Load and Reload albums, and they combined all the great songs on them, all the good, great songs on them, then you would have a great album right there. It would be way better than, like, anything that they've done recently. Like, it would be, I think it would be better than Death Magnetic, and, like, maybe it would even compete with the Black Album. But, yeah. But, Load is at number 7. Number 6 is going to be 2008's Death Magnetic. This is the best thing that they've done. This was the best thing that they've done in a while. This is kind of a return to form. There's some thrash on this album, but yeah, this is a solid album. At least I can say it's a solid album. You got a lot of really good songs, great songs, like The End of the Line, Broken, Beaten, Scarred, The Day That Never Comes, All Nightmare Long, Cyanide, Suicide and Redemption. Even though a lot of people hate on Suicide and Redemption, I still think it's a really good instrumental. But yeah, I mean, I can see why, because yeah, it does kind of drag out a little too long, but it's not that big of a deal. It's a great instrumental with many great riffs in it. But yeah, the Judas Kiss, a lot of solid, great songs on this album, and this is the best thing that this is the last like great thing that they've ever done. Yeah, so number 6, Death Magnetic. Number 5 is going to be, we're getting into the good stuff right here. We're getting into the classic albums. Number 5 is going to be Kill 'Em All from 1983. Got it right here. Kill 'Em All. This is the album that started it all. This is the album that started one of the greatest bands in metal history, and started a whole move. And what I think started a whole genre of metal and thrash metal. Kill 'Em All is this is an album filled with ruthless aggression. A lot of just like anger on this album. It opens up with Hit the Lights, which is like such a rampage song. The Four Horsemen, Motor Breath, Jump in the Fire, Whiplash, Phantom Lord, No Remorse. You got an anthem with Seek and Destroy and Metal Militia. This album is just filled with thrash metal classics. People say that this album's so great because Dave Mustaine from Megadeth, who was previously in Metallica before he got kicked out, he co-wrote almost half the album, and I can see why. This album has this album probably has Kirk Hammett's best lead playing on it, and I wouldn't disagree with that one. So yeah, but I hate how I have to rank it at number 5, but life's not fair, guys. But yeah, moving on. Number 4 is going to be the Black Album from 1991. Like Load and Reload, this album gets a lot of hate as well, and I just don't see why. Yeah, Enter Sandman, yeah, it's a great song, but it's just very overplayed, and I never need to hear it again. As great of a song it is, I just don't need to hear it again. I've heard it way too many times. Same with the Unforgiven, but I still love the Unforgiven. I still think that's a great song. Even though it's overplayed on the radio as well, I still really like that song. And Nothing Else Matters, which I still like Nothing Else Matters too, but I used to like that song way more when I was younger, but as I got older, I'm just like, yeah, it's good, but it's not one of the best. But the deep cuts on this album is what I go for. Sad But True is a great song. Holier Than Thou is one of the most underrated Metallica songs in their catalog. Wherever I May Roam. You got Through the Never, The God That Failed, Struggle Within. My Friend in Misery, another underrated song. With that's Jason Newsted's probably one of his best moments in the band. Many other great songs, but you know, the Black Album gets way too much hate, and I think it's a great album. This album it does have a more mainstream approach, but you know what? Who cares? It's still a great album. This album is kind of has like an arena sound to it. Kind of like an arena like rock, like, you know, but it's not. Yeah, that's kind of what I can think of it as, but still, terrific album in my opinion. But yeah, my top three. This is what got me into Metallica. These top three albums. Number 3 is going to be Ride the Lightning from 1984. This album's top to bottom classic. Opens up with Fight Fire with Fire, which is such an aggressive tune. Title track is great. For Whom the Bell Tolls is a heavy metal anthem with arguably Cliff Burton's best moment in the band. Besides that and another one I'm going to get to later in the video. You got Fade to Black, which is classic. Just classic. Just amazing. You know, you got like Trapped Under Ice, Escaped, Creeping... I'm sorry, I can't speak. Creeping Death is another anthem. And you got the great The Call of Cthulhu to end the album off. And a heavy metal masterpiece. So yeah, moving on to number 2. And it is Injustice for All from 1988. I don't care what you guys say about the production. You know, oh my God, there's no bass on it. You know, they turned down the bass. I don't care. This album is amazing. You know, you lose Cliff Burton in a bus accident 2 years before, and then you come out with this. It's just like, oh my God, like this is like, I don't even know. You know, when you open your album off with Blackened, it's just like. Oh my Lord. Injustice for All. Eye of the Beholder is another underrated tune. The classic One. Shortest Straw. Harvester of Sorrow. Frayed Ends of Sanity. To Live Is To Die is a very emotional song because it's the last Metallica song that Cliff Burton ever got a songwriting credit on, and it's pretty much the last one that he ever wrote. And it ends off with the aggressive, ruthless Dyer's Eve. This album is like the most like besides Kill 'Em All, I feel like it's probably the most aggressive. And this album has Lars Ulrich's best drumming on it, and it arguably has James Hetfield's best singing on it. Besides the Black Album, but yeah, this album's a little bit complex, kind of progressive. But yeah, this is I love this album. I don't care if there's no bass on it. This album is still killer. Number 1, guys. We made it. Number 1 is going to be Master of Puppets from 1986. Some people say that this is one of the most overrated albums in metal, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, have you ever even listened to this album? Like, top to bottom, perfect. Opens up with Battery, which is, oh my God, that intro. It's like, oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just like raving over this. And you got Master of Puppets, which is a classic anthem. The Thing That Should Not Be is so heavy. Like, that song is probably one of the most heaviest songs in Metallica's catalog. Welcome Home Sanitarium is amazing. My favorite Metallica song of all time, Disposable Heroes. That song is just filled. The lyrics in that song are so killer. The riffs in that song, I love I love all like the changes in the song. It's just, oh my God, it's great. Leper Messiah, another great one. Orion, which when I was talking about Cliff Burton's best moments in the band, this is arguably one of his best as well. You know, great bass playing on that song and just great riffing. And then ends off with Damage Incorporated. Damage Incorporated, great song. I'm sorry I had to do that just because like he does that in the song and it's pretty cool. But yeah, we are done with the ranking. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out, rock on.